Last but not least, our final presentation will be made by Mr. Märt Hiietamm, who is the head of Analysis and Prevention Department at RIA. Märt is also in charge of many international projects. So to discuss our international engagement, please, Märt, welcome. You have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Märt. Good afternoon or good evening to our audience. We're almost at the end. Bear with me for those last 15 minutes or so. I will basically be making a shameless sales pitch of our all kinds of outreach that we do. Let's first start with laying the background or setting the context. Due to our well-established digital way of life, of which you have also heard a lot about today, we have always been a destination for interested delegations from all over the world. For example, 2019, before the pandemic hit, we had 190 incoming visits to RIA that year. So this is actually quite a bit. It's almost one every working day, and that's quite a scale. I think you recognize one of the participants also on that photo. Then when COVID came, of course, everything changed. We had to, readjust. We were suddenly not really being able to really reach out or talk to colleagues in other countries. We thought about doing it in other ways, so we started a couple new, let's say, formats of writings, which I will also touch upon. Now this year we are, hopefully getting back to normal. We have already seen some international action again, but nothing like the levels before. And then hopefully from next year on we can get back to where we were and also build on it. So a lot of what you heard today we also did touch upon in our latest cybersecurity yearbook. We did basically last year we did one and we had a big event a bit like this to launch it. That was to compensate for not being able to travel, and now this year we did it again. It's a good overview of what's been happening in the Estonian cyberspace and what RIA has been doing in response or in prevention or or what have you. And you can find it on our homepage www.ria.ee, and I think that you could also tick that you want a copy of it when you registered, so I guess some of you will be having it in their real mails. Another outreach product we started last year during the pandemic was our quarterly assessments in English. So we in those, it's every quarter, at the end of every quarter we publish one. We look at what's been happening, the main newsworthy cyber incidents or streams of incidents or trends, and then we try to sort of analyze them and also predict what could happen in the next months or years to come on those. Again, this is available also in English, and you can again find it at our webpage ria.ee. I invite you to find them. When I talked about back to business as usual in RIA's sort of global engagement, I meant that we will be again going to, interacting bilaterally. We will again be going to Brussels for different working formats instead of doing them from the comfort of our own homes or from our office. Via all those platforms, and of course we will again be we will again be able to welcome welcome colleagues from other countries in RIA. But the sort of the more as before or business as usual plus, I hope will stem from our involvement or our running of various EU funded projects. I will touch now here on two of them. EU Cyber for Development, of which is led by the Northern Irish Cooperation Department, and where we are the one of the key partners who actually do the work on the ground. This project aims at building cyber resilience for development in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean. And the other big project, which is run by RIA, is EU Cybernet. The aim of EU Cybernet is to basically streamline and coordinate and ensure the coherence and the global delivery of EU's external cyber capacity building projects. Now, EU Cybernet, the other two, we have two consortium partners where the project is funded by the EU. And we have two consortium partners, the German Foreign Ministry and the Luxembourg Cybersecurity Center. And but the seat of Cybernet is in RIA, and well, the work is being done from Tallinn. Cybernet basically is also now beginning to grow. It's beginning to deliver results. And well, here you can, on this photo, you can see a visit by the team to the Dominican Republic earlier this year, where they are now starting or in the process of building a regional cyber competence center for the Caribbean region. This, I think, illustrates well the sort of global nature of what we actually do in cyber in RIA. I will talk a bit about also what this means, Cybernet. Basically, it can mean anything. It can mean different kinds of training courses, workshops, missions, consulting, needs assessment in all of the world. There are no mandates which restrict us. There are no geographic limitations. And the contents can be also very diverse. I mean, the full range of cybersecurity, resilience, countering cybercrime, cyber diplomacy, infrastructure protection, CERTs, I mean, you name it. And basically, the idea is that Cybernet would then bring together the parties interested in doing a mission or a course or a workshop somewhere in the third countries, and the people in the EU who are able to do that. So Cybernet should, in time, coordinate everything that the EU does in cyber development cooperation. And I'm happy to say that Cybernet and Cyber for Dev are actually dovetailing and interacting quite well already. So there are already many sort of touching points. In Cybernet, there are basically three kinds of participants. There's the expert pool, cyber experts, who can basically, they can enlist, let's say, using the homepage, and then they become part of the pool if their wish is ratified by the team. Then Cybernet is looking for cyber organizations to form a stakeholder community. Again, then the idea being that those institutions, organizations can use Cybernet to do things anywhere in the world. And we are also, up for contacts with like-minded third countries. They can be, well, let's call them global partners here. And again, I emphasize the idea is to coordinate and have one sort of streamlined view of what the EU does in cyber outside. Now on to Cyber for Dev. This is also a EU-funded project. Like I said, the lead partner there is the Northern Irish Cooperation or Development Cooperation Agency. RIA is, dare I say, the partner which provides the most man or woman hours to really do the work on the ground, or via a web platform these days, but we hope to get back to on the ground in the coming months. I mentioned the idea then is to help them build cyber resilience to enable them to develop, and also we try to support them in a way that they will be able to build up their own cyber expertise. Whereas Cybernet is looking to become a big expert and stakeholder network, then Cyber for Dev is like a smallish team of real experts who are able to go and deliver what the target country needs or requests. Here you can see this year's priority countries or regions for Cyber for Dev. Like I said, it's Latin America, the Caribbean, Africa, and Asia. So there is, in this case, there is a geographic limitation, but it's still quite the wide scope. So about the new normal again, which I mentioned at first. The EU is developing their legislation and their institutional capacity, institutional framework in cyber. It's been happening now for the past few years, and the work is continuing at, let's say, great pace. So I believe that there will be a lot more integration and cooperation and information sharing in cyber because of the new legislation and via the new bodies or the extended mandates of some bodies. So I'm very sure that the EU will be more united and stronger in terms of cyber and cybersecurity in the coming years. So this is the more in that context. And the other more is that EU Cybernet will gather speed and will start to deliver even more, and Cyber for Dev will also continue to do their work globally. Now, if you are not yet from an organization which is a stakeholder in Cybernet, or you're not a member of the Cybernet expert pool, then I urge you to look at the webpage, which you can see the address of there. And there's a lot of information on the webpage. If that is, and then you can, of course, get in touch with the team via the email you see there. Cybernet, I'm sure, has a great future, and I think it would be very cool and useful to be involved in a professional capacity. The EU adopted a new cybersecurity strategy last December, just before Christmas, and Cybernet is also mentioned there as a future key player in EU cyber activities outside the Union. And Cybernet is also referenced in the Council conclusions, which talk about the security. These are from March of this year. So the future for Cybernet is very bright, I'm sure. And again, they aim to be the bridge to cybersecurity expertise outside, from the EU to the outside. So please get in touch with them. And Cyber for Dev, they are very open to contacts for doing things in those priority regions I mentioned. So Latin America, the Caribbean, Asia, and Africa. So please do get in touch with them if you think you want to do something there, or if you are from one of those priority regions and think that there should be an EU cyber mission maybe coming to you. And this is it. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Märt, for this really great overview of the international life in RIA. So as you described in your presentation, we have many formats for international cooperation, from close collaboration with the cyber agencies to the projects like EU Cybernet. But in your opinion, what is the most valuable aspect of international cooperation in cybersecurity?
Well, I think it's basically twofold, the answer. One is that you always learn new things from others. I mean, you think you're the best, but well, you aren't, or you have been, but you're not anymore. So there is the learning factor. And of course, the other factor is that you make friends and you know who to call when you happen to be in trouble and need help. I think that's the two main benefits.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Märt, very much. And this concludes our webinar. I hope you enjoyed RIA's anniversary webinar on cybersecurity issues, and maybe you found instances where you would like to increase cooperation with us. We would like that very much. The issues discussed here today show that the close and trustful cooperation, working relations between the cybersecurity authorities of the governments are increasingly necessary. So we will be happy to continue this discussion bilaterally with all of you in Tallinn or elsewhere. I would hereby like to conclude the webinar by thanking my great colleagues for their presentations today. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all of you for celebrating the birthday of RIA and the CERT with us. So hopefully see you all soon. Thank you very much.